Mark, the podcast that helps artists break through the noise and define themselves in music. I'm Sol.
I'm Greg.
And I'm Alex.
Yeah, we got Alex Lavato, the homie in the house today. Guitar from Beauty Is Betrayal.
Yep.
You guys are going to be playing Titan Fest this year, which by the time this is posted will probably have already happened.
Hell yeah.
But we're happy to have you on. How you doing, bro?
Doing pretty good. It's pretty fucking hot outside, not gonna lie, but it's actually really nice in here.
Honestly, this room is surprisingly colder than most.
Yeah, you were in my room a second ago.
Yeah, no, your room was like straight up swamp ass on swamp ass. It was not.
Yeah, I was going to say, so what, like, I mean, you guys have your own AC unit in here, or is it just a fan? Like...
Nope, apparently this is the coldest
It's
and not.
all building AC.
Yeah,
they
it's all
control it,
okay.
we don't.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Best we can do are like stage fans.
Yep.
But
Okay.
Yep. Surprisingly, this room is one of the cooler ones. So I don't
Yeah.
know. We got lucky, but I'm not complaining.
Not at all. I mean, I'm sure, like you guys rehearse in here as well.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure that is where the AC comes most in handy because we're just sitting here.
Yeah. No doubt.
You know, we're not working up a sweat doing this.
No.
yeah, like we just rehearsed like a couple hours ago. So like we rehearse 3 times a week. Usually like we use like Monday, Wednesday. Those days, you know, we all live within 5 minutes, 10 minutes of the studio. So like
your heart.
we'll just run, you know, one set instrumentally, then one with vocals, or flip it, just depending on what we need for the day. But like Sundays is usually where we'll like play the set and be like, all right, that kind of sucked. Let's work on that, yada yada, vice versa, and stuff
That's
like that.
kind of nice. I can't wait for Sergio to live up here because he's actually moving up here. So it's like
sick.
we're actually gonna be able to like, if we lock in our new drummer, then I'll be like, sick. Everyone's in town. I don't have to fucking do 1 practice a week because I would love to practice more. Just
Is that going to be announced by the time this comes out? You think?
no,
Mm-hmm.
no, because
Dig it.
Where's Sergio right now?
Turlock,
Okay,
Yeah.
and that's
like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
okay. That can be a little rough.
Yeah, I mean, like he does it. I'm surprised.
Course.
I'm like, I wish that we were all in the same area. I mean, now we have twins in the band. It's really that yeah, it's weird.
Honestly, it's such a game changer when a band has like a band house.
Yeah.
Like if you get to the point, there's a band called Fervence.
Yeah.
So you guys know that band.
Big fans of them.
big
Yeah.
fan.
They-
Love
they
Stevie.
just-
Chris,
they
love
just
Fucking love
signed-
Stevie and Chris. Like seriously, I
Yeah.
was just about to say that.
They
They're
just
homies.
signed to Metal Blade,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
and they
Big win.
I think Stevie made a post when they were announcing that where she was talking about how they made a decision at one point. They met up at a restaurant or something and they had a conversation, where do we take it from here? And they decided to get like all move in together and just completely like lock in on the vision of being a band.
Yeah.
And when you do that, if you have a place to record in the house, if you have if you have a place to rehearse in the house, it's amazing.
That's pretty much like how things are with Beauty. Like Ryan, our guitar player, he owns a house just up the road. And like maybe a year after I joined the band, I moved in with him. And Bree lives with us too. And we had roommates at the time. But we, recorded in his garage for the longest time. He's got like a full Pro Tools setup. Like, Ryan is an actual engineer. Like, we do all of our pre-pro at the house, write vocals, stuff like that. That way, so when we do go in to record these songs, we're like already have everything ready to go.
That's
and
tight.
then that's when we get with Nick and he helps us write and maybe tweak things and stuff like that. We've also been working with Josh Dottie, formerly of Cemetery Sun. He's been Bree's vocal coach for like the past, I think, year now.
Yeah, I
And-
think we started around the same time with that.
And the improvement she has made in just that short amount of time has been like amazing. Like, because
yeah.
I have a weird work schedule. I work for a pizza place, so I'm home some mornings, not. So sometimes on my way to work, on my way out of the house, I'll hear them doing warm ups or exercises. And like for example, like one of the last times we recorded, it was a while ago. Bree sang like all day, and I remember on the car ride home, I asked her, I was like, "You feel tired at all?" She's like, "No, I'm good." And I was like, "Fuck, that's pretty wild."
yeah, honestly,
Good
like,
technique, probably.
But yeah, like
protecting the voice.
having that the core writing part of the band literally in house is sick.
Yeah.
Because like I'll wake up some mornings, like, because I'll close like Friday, Saturday night, and I'll literally wake up and I'll hear Ryan working on something downstairs.
Oh,
Like,
that's tight.
I
Yeah.
have a vivid memory of like one of the last singles we put out, Atlantis. I don't know if you guys have heard the song.
I have.
It starts out very long, drawn out. And then, like, I just heard this motherfucker of a breakdown. I was literally laying in my bed, and I popped up, and I was like, what is that? You know, threw my sweats on, and I went downstairs, and I was like, play that back. That's insane.
And you can immediately be involved.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great. When you can transition from rehearsing as a band being something you have to leave the house for.
Yeah.
Where like it's part of your day. Your day is not over yet. You have a plan to leave the house and go do something you're going to come back tired from.
Yeah.
And you transition into like you all end up at the same place at the end of the day anyway because you go to work and then you come home and you're in the same place.
Yeah.
Right.
It makes it so much easier to operate in general. Because I mean, another thing, you know, not to diss anybody in particular, but when you have a group chat, it's so common when like not everybody's in the loop at all times.
Or they ignore it and miss it, and you're just like,
yeah. Like, not everybody wants to be attached to their phone 24/7. So if you're trying to get a message across, like sometimes it just slows things down.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't think my band will ever get to the point where we're like all in house like that. Like, but like for sure,
It's a big move when you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, like that's just probably not going to be a thing for us. But like everybody, if once they're local, like I feel like we're just going to do more together, anyways.
Yeah.
Including our new drummer. He's the guy we're like working with the most. Like he has his own recording studio, so he's like, yeah, dude, you can come over and like we'll pre-pro and stuff and we'll write. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like
That too. That's
you know,
clutch.
like. Like once everyone's in town, it's gonna be a lot easier. I mean, like Sergio is always like, "Bro, just write the bass lines. I don't care." Like it, because he plays pretty much note for note what like Sergio and fucking with Tommy and Robin play, and those two like being twins, they hive mind.
Yeah.
And it's like the weirdest thing in the world. Like with that twin telepathy shit's such a real thing.
it's
I was
really-
like watching it go down. I was like, the fuck is this? Like it's just
it
so weird.
It is a real thing. So like the first
crazy.
drummer I ever played with, maybe this is how we can segue now. I got started playing music, but
All right.
first drummer I ever played with was actually my dad. So
Okay.
I started playing guitar when I was I want to say 8 or 9 years old, and the whole reason I actually started on drums first because my dad's a drummer, and you know, wanted to do all that stuff. But then a movie came out around that time called School of Rock.
Yep.
I
Yes,
saw that
sir.
movie, and I was like, that is the coolest fucking shit. Like, drums are awesome, but, like, I saw that kid, Zach, with the flying V, and I was like, I want to do that.
Right.
So I got a guitar at that Christmas and started playing, and, you know, after a couple years, I was, you know, my dad decided, hey, why don't you come play some gigs with me? Because my dad was, my dad had a cover band type stuff. It was mainly,
sick.
like, you know, classic rock stuff, but he also played drums for my grandfather. So my grandfather has been playing music since the 60s, the 50s and 60s. You know, he was in the Navy in Korea, got out, started a club. I think it was called the Copacabana, right by where Skips is.
Oh,
I think
sick.
it's like a furniture store or something like now. But so I started playing with him around like 9 or 10 years old. Playing bass, you know, guitar was, you know, I wasn't quite there as a guitar player, but I was good enough to play bass. So very, like, pretty much from the get-go, music became a job to me. You know,
Damn.
a lot of my friends that play music got started playing because they loved it, and it was fun. It was something to do, like, you know, like playing video games and stuff like that. But,
Right.
like, and I still had that aspect of it, like, guitar for me, like, you know, it was just a hobby. Like, you know, one of my biggest, like, hugest inspirations as a guitar player is Metallica. I am a Metallica apologist through and through. Like, it's almost like a fault, but like I don't care, dude. That band taught me how to play guitar.
Well,
Because
Kirk Hammett is he's a beast.
and he's this. Or there's a reason they call him the Ripper. But like for me, it wasn't even so much Kirk Hammett. It was more James Hetfield. It was the way his approach to playing rhythm guitar, because he actually started as a drummer too. So his approach to playing guitar is like a drummer. His right hand, you know, your top 3 strings is the kick, your lower 3 strings is the snare, stuff like that. And I remember hearing Master of Puppets when I was like 10 years old, and
All down
like,
picking.
I was like, how I didn't, you know, because I was like listening to AC/DC and shit like that, and I love those bands. I'd never heard anything like that before. It was insane. So I just remember telling myself, I was like, I want to do that. I don't care how long it takes for me to be able to down pick all that stuff. And that's all I did from like 8 years old until about like 18. I had like one band when I was in middle school, but it was literally just we would sit in a room and jam. We never played shows or anything like that.
So actually, I have a question for you then, because you're in a band now. So you gravitated towards the performance aspect.
Yeah.
You mentioned that the first person you ever played music with was your dad.
Yeah.
And then with Metallica, it was James Hetfield more so than Kirk Hammett, the front man, the one working the crowd, really.
Yeah.
So do you think those two things were more integral pieces in what brought you to the idea that being in a band would be cool?
Yes and no. The being in a band part didn't really come to me until I want to say I was 18. I just got out of high school. I just gotten out of a relationship and I was bored. I just I played guitar.
You needed
and then
stimulation.
I needed something to do, and a couple of my high school buddies, my friend Travis Manning, if you're listening to this, love you, dog. He told me to come jam with him and my other friend from high school, Arian. They found a drummer, so I was like, fuck it, why not? I got a car. I just got in a car. So I went and jammed, and we just played Metallica covers, and then I think the week after that we went back in to just fuck around, and Travis was like, oh yeah, I booked us a show. I was like, you did what? I was like, yeah, it's in a month. And I was like, we don't even have any original songs. So we just and I had never written anything in my life. I had just played other people's music just to get my ability to where it was.
Oh shit.
And so we wrote 6 songs, and it was very rudimentary, basic. There's nothing on streaming or anything, but if you go on YouTube, you can look up the band. It's called Conceived in Chaos.
Okay.
I apologize in advance for my haircuts. At the time, they were not good. I hadn't quite started growing my hair out as long as it is, but that was pretty much what we were. It was just a Metallica. We did do Metallica covers, but we were very inspired by them, Lamb of God. It was very much like groove metal, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that didn't, the playing in a band part didn't come until I was 18, and I kind of just got thrown into it. And so, that was 11 years ago now, and here I am doing a podcast about it.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
About your role in a band that's trying to, out here trying to make its mark.
Yeah.
It's every band is different. Every band has a different vision of what they want to accomplish.
100%.
I mean, sometimes it's just about having fun. Sometimes it is about leaving a legacy specifically. Sometimes it's about sending a message.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we're all just in love with making crowds of people happy.
Yeah.
100%.
And, creating a memory for people, showing them, providing the power of music in live concert, because listening to something in your headphones, it's great, obviously,
Right.
but I'm very glad. I think about this sometimes, how I'm so glad that people appreciate live music, because if it's a good parallel example, I guess, would be movie theaters.
Yeah.
Where we all have, streaming platforms are so popularized now. They have so many options, and
Right.
movies go from the movie theater into the streaming service so fast that a lot of people just have lost the novelty of going to the movie theaters,
100%.
getting some popcorn, going out with the family like that. So the fact that people will come out and watch live music in concert is just such an amazing thing to me, because, performing as well as attending a show is something that just sticks with you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, you can hear a band on record and you're like, they're really fucking good. And then you can see them live and then you're like, holy fuck, they're even better live.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
that's been a thing that happens with bands. I always I always joke with Alex every time we've ever played with them. I was like, yeah, I listen to your guys' music, but I always forget how fucking heavy you guys are until I play with you guys, and then I'm like, oh yeah, they're really fucking heavy.
Yeah.
And I'm like on record, they're great. Live, I'm always just like, Jesus fucking Christ, I forget how fucking stupid heavy they are. They're really heavy.
Dude, there have been multiple
crush.
occasions where I had heard a band's music before, and seeing them live is what turned me into a fan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Same, dude.
That's happened multiple times.
Classic example for me. Knocked Loose.
Yeah.
I was not
Yeah.
digging the vocals, dude, for the longest time. And then I saw them at Aftershock on that stage by the freeway, and they
What year
played-
was this? Was it a long time ago, or?
It was a while ago. I remember they played, I think it's Belleville, but it has this riff. It's just dun dun ba da. It's like a Slayer riff. You know what song I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I heard that and I was like, whoa, that's cool. And then the entire crowd from barrier to 100 yards back just became like a medieval battle zone. I was like, holy fuck.
It's just the fact that just a combination of sounds like that can wake people up in that way.
Yeah.
It's
bro.
powerful.
I wouldn't necessarily call it a bad habit, but we all go to so many shows a year. Like, my intake of music does not like keep up with that. It's like I can only check out so many new bands. I only have so much bandwidth for that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like, there are a lot of shows I go to where I'm like, I've heard this band's name a million times. I'm just gonna go watch them, and if they're sick, fuck yeah, I love them. Like, Psycho Frame was a band I saw recently, and I've heard like stupid good things about them. And then I saw them at Roseville, and I was like, fuck, dude, this band's so... I remember, like, you ever hear a band so heavy you're just laughing the entire time? That was Psycho Frame for me. Like, 100%.
Oh, my God.
There's this band that popped up in a sponsored, like, ad. The one I was playing earlier.
Was it Throne? Remember when Throne was getting pushed on everyone's fucking streaming
Oh, yeah.
for, like,
that was
6 months?
That was kind of like this band. I think they're called, like, Say 6 or something like that. It's like SACE.
Oh, yeah. I
6.
saw you post about that the other day.
They had this, like, call out, and I was just like, what the fuck? It was like, when the river dries, I'll be laying there, wrist split, neck snap, blood on my fingertips. And I was like,
That's hard.
what?
That's hard.
And like, it just hits dumb heavy. And I was like, and then it goes into this super melodic, like, beautiful part. And then it just goes stupid heavy again. And I was like, hold on. What the fuck's happening here? I'm like, I'm gonna go check this album out. And I'm listening to it, and I'm just like, fuck, this band's so good. What the fuck? Like, and
That's another thing. When you hear one song that catches you and the whole album slaps,
yeah, that's rare.
It's disappointing when the single that you hear is the only song you end up liking.
Yeah.
I hate that because then
like,
they're not going to turn you into a fan. Then.
Significantly softer than that one song, but like they have like these. It's like,
But quality still.
I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like fucking Knock Loose and Sleep Token had a baby.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, yeah, it's like really angelic singing and then like just stupid fucking bow bow shit. Like, I'm like, what the fucking microtonal bending is going on here?
Microtonal bending.
I'm like, there's just some fucking, it's like got some really cool like just nuances into it that I'm just like, all right, this band's fucking tight. Like, I need to hear more. And then I posted about it on Facebook, and somebody was like, "Oh, bro, they were at Roseville," and I was like, "Fuck,
dude, that always happens to me
that.
too. Is like on top of like I don't check out bands until I see them live, and then like a band, I can't tell you how many bands this has happened with me. It happened with fucking Spite years ago. But
Okay.
Spite played the Colony, and like I didn't go to the show because I didn't know them.
That must have been a while ago.
And then like a few months later, I think I heard like IED or something like that, and I was like, what the? I'm like, fuck, they were just here.
Yeah,
You know?
Nasty.
God, nasty.
hate that shit.
Nothing is Beautiful is an album that you understand before you see it live, but
Yeah.
just, I mean, I can't really say how to do that really, but there are bands that just figure something out with their production to where it gives you the same feeling as if you're right there on the barrier at the front of the stage.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And when you have production like that, it helps a lot because sometimes I'll listen to a band and I'll wonder how much of it is that their production sounds good and how much of it is that it's just a well-constructed song.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's a combination of the two. And I have a feeling that there's certain bands that probably do even better because their production is on point. Because there's certain bands that like I love their music, but it doesn't give me the same feeling because maybe the production's a little thin or it doesn't hit that way when I listen to it in the car. It's just production is just a complicated game.
It really is.
Yeah, like hot take, really probably hot take. Like I actually really like Lorna Shore live.
Actually, I've never seen them live.
There's tons of bands that like I love watching live that I just don't really care to listen to. Like if they come through, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going to check out that show. But like, is it in my daily, weekly rotation?
Oh yeah,
not really.
Like Queens of the Stone Age, didn't know I liked their music until I saw them at Aftershock and was like, yo, these guys fucking slap. Will I listen to it on Spotify? Probably
no, dude,
not.
That record fucking what's it called? Songs for the Deaf. That whole album front to back is fucking cool. Because it's like they have these little like segments in between songs that like bleed into the next. It's like in the first track, the "You Think I'm a Dollar" song. I can't remember. It's like, it's got like a long fucking name, but at the end they have like a little. It sounds like some guy cycling through radio stations. Like he's going on a drive through the desert. Because if you think like, quote me if I'm wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure it's a concept album about going through a drive through like Joshua Tree or something like that.
I think that's right. I think I remember hearing something. I don't know. They just were fascinating to fucking hear. I heard them in Aftershock and I was like,
And they got Dave Grohl playing drums on that album too.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
You ever watch Dave Grohl play the drums? He's just he beats the fuck out of that shit.
He's a beast.
yeah.
Which big fan of drummers that hit hard.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's obviously like overdoing it, but like when you can hear especially if it translates through the record.
Oh yeah.
Like love that.
Have you ever played with Captive State?
We might have. It's hard to keep track.
Yeah.
Being 10
Great
years
band.
into the
Yeah,
game.
great
Shout
band.
out Captive State.
Yeah, they're fucking so tight. Oh, actually, no, we did. We at Phoenix Theater.
That's right. We
Okay.
did.
So when we played that
That's
show,
right. They borrowed a power supply for their mixer because they couldn't. Either theirs broke or I think it broke on stage.
yeah,
like right
there
before
was
they
some
went on.
crazy shit.
They're super nice guys.
But we were gonna play a show in Modesto with them, and then like last minute we had to drop off, but we still ended up showing up, and like we were watching their drummer, and we were like, that boy's got some demons. Like I'm like, Aaron was just like, fucking goddamn, I hate my drums, and I was like, hey dog, you good? Like you gonna be okay? Like
I love that, dude.
aggro as fuck. Like we watched that whole entire thing, and I was just like,
I love that.
do you even have cymbals anymore?
I love
like
that. Just goes with any
It's
musicians.
crazy.
Like seeing them put on like an actual performance. You know what I mean? Like let's get to the extreme example, the Chariot.
Oh
You
my
know,
God,
we've
the
all
Chariot's
seen the fucking
batshit.
videos. Like they literally wrote a song where they can just beat on their fucking guitars. When we play live, like I obviously do try to make sure I play all of our songs correctly, make sure I have proper technique. But I also try to jump around, move around. Like,
Right.
I see a lot of bands fall into the trap of like, they want to be so perfect on stage, and I get it. Like, they play to tracks or click and stuff like that. But like, you have to think of it from the listener, the audience perspective.
Oh,
These
totally.
people aren't in the world that we're in. We see things through a different lens than they do, and you have to put yourself in that mindset sometimes. Like, what do these people like to see when they go out? Do they want to watch 4 or 5 guys just stand around on stage playing music? Maybe if it's Tool, I don't know. But like, that's something I really try to get in my brain before we play. Is like, this is not just for me, because it is a therapy for me to go on stage and be able to do what I do. Right. But like, these people, our friends and family and fans have paid money to come see a show. Give them a fucking show.
It's also it's part of the added live aspect.
Yeah.
They're not just listening to it in their room. You're putting on a show for them. This is entertainment.
That's why like. People will laugh at it now, but like all the choreographed dance moves of like the
Early
2000s metalcore shit
bro.
like that. Like,
shit was goated. Doesn't matter.
people
what
will make
anyone
fun of
says.
it now, but it's still sick to me.
I thought it was
sick.
the coolest shit in the world when I
I
first
thought
saw it.
Crabcore was the coolest shit ever. The minute I saw fucking Attack doing it in their music video, I was like, that's tight.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like,
And like at the time when that was popular, like I'll just say this right now, like I didn't really get into metalcore until like I was 19, 20. Like up until that point, I was like really I'll be 20, I'll be 30 in like 3 weeks. So
okay, timeline wise, that makes a lot of sense. Okay,
Yeah.
so like, no, I'm just trying to think about where like, because then you probably were watching the Devil Wears Prada, Hey John
if that
video
like,
on like MTV.
I skipped all that shit. Like
No shit.
At the time, like in like high school and middle school, like I still listened to like thrash and death metal.
That's
Like,
right, you
that's
were a
my
thrash death metal
That's
guy.
my background. Like, there were a couple bands I liked in the scene, like All That Remains, As I Lay Dying, obviously until the thing happened. But a lot of it was like thrash and death metal and like like progressive deathcore and stuff like that. But I didn't really get into like that kind of stuff until I want to say like I was in my first band a couple years in, and even then it was still very like basic stuff. Like I think I really didn't heavily get into metalcore until like around the time I was in Exiled, or metalcore and deathcore, because that was a deathcore band. I didn't listen to the music really hardly at all. So like trying to get in that mind frame of writing deathcore while not actively listening to it was like a really cool challenge for me.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, I feel like it can be better, though, because, I mean, do we all remember what Mitch Lucker said about how he doesn't listen to any bands that are in their...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't
He
want
never did that. He doesn't want to be influenced by any band that is in the same genre or space.
100%.
Right.
And was his idea of how that sound ended up being so... I mean, he was always very humble. He wouldn't call it iconic himself when he's talking about Suicide Silence, but the fact that they didn't sound like anybody, they were completely original, I think was attributed to that fact that he would listen to, I don't know, rap, whatever else he listened to.
No, definitely. Like, especially with me, like, when, we are in the process of writing and doing stuff like that, like, I listen to, dude, like, a shit ton of country music. Like, maybe not like Luke Bryan type shit. It's more like...
Who are your favorite country artists? Is it...
Bill Murray doesn't count.
Sturgill Simpson, Tyler Childers. God damn it, I'm drawing a blank. One of my new favorites, he's more bluegrass, Billy Strings. He put out a cool fucking album last year. It's like it's a modern take on like bluegrass and country music. I was listening to it while I was in the room restringing guitars.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I mean...
But, like, like another one of my all-time favorite bands, aside from Metallica, is the fucking Eagles. Love that band.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. I think it's very, like, it makes a lot of sense, like, when, like, Mitch said what he said, because it's, like, there's shit that, like, I've heard other vocalists say, like, like, hey, being unique, and, like, how do you be unique? And, like, I'm like, there's a way to do it. You just got to figure out how to do it. But, like, there's only so many notes on a guitar and everything, and, like, there is a lot of that. But there's also, like... feel in the sound of what you're doing, and I think that's something that you develop over time like as a guitarist. I would imagine like you feel the same way, but it's like you kind 100%. Of figure out what your fan base is looking for, and like if like let's say you were like in a deathcore like beatdown kind of band like or something, or like thrash deathcore or whatever, like and then all of a sudden you like put a metalcore song, like a more metalcore deathcore song out, and then your whole fan base is like, yeah, that shit right there. Like you kind of gotta like be like, okay, maybe we're going into our own thing here that like nobody's really doing, or like nobody's like really exploring the same way, and then you can kind of put your own positive spin on that. I mean, like Knock Loose, literally just it's hardcore. It's hardcore and metalcore, but they're vocalists.
Yeah.
I'm like, he just had to figure out how to be unique enough.
Yeah.
They figured out their niche, and they're expanding on it to this day.
And I think the funny part, I think we were talking about this on another episode. It's like, bro, it's like he knew that like people were probably gonna be like, this vocal style is annoying, and he was like, send it.
And
he was like, why? Because I don't care. Because like literally the comment section is gonna just love that, and the algorithm's gonna make us popular.
The cool thing too, especially,
and he's like, fuck it, I'm being me.
The cool thing with Brian is like he has fucking range.
Oh, he's insane.
He sticks in his wheelhouse for the most part because that's what he's good at. But like, look at that fucking video when they did Jimmy Kimmel.
He did the fucking gutter rolls.
Yeah, it was like
he did a pig squeal.
Yeah, it was a pig squeal.
Never thought I would see Jimmy Kimmel with a pig squeal on national television.
So sick,
dude. Yeah, fuck, dude.
But no, definitely like a big part of coming up as a musician. It doesn't matter what instrument you play. Is like obviously you do it because you heard something or you saw a movie like School of Rock, and you just want to do that. But as you get older, you can only learn other people's music so much. You have to at a certain point start developing your style.
Right.
And it's cool. Like I'm not trained. I didn't take guitar lessons. I learned everything from fucking YouTube and like tabs. I learned how to read tabs. Like you can only do that so much before you have to start developing your style. And don't get me wrong, like I'll hear like a song, either from way back or from recent, and like whatever lick that guy played is cool. I'm gonna learn that, and you can take stuff from other people's music and add it to your repertoire and develop it into your own style. Like for me, as a guitar player, like a lot of the things that I do is very rooted in older music because that's what I grew up on. I didn't get into modern like heavy music until very late. I'd already been pretty developed as a guitar player at that point.
Right.
And
do you feel that the transition was actually easier because of that?
Yeah. I think it's because I used to be so close-minded when it came to music. Like I really didn't branch out at all. And then like as I got deeper and deeper in the scene, you know, like not only playing shows, but like when I started booking shows too. Because you can't just book the bands that you like. It doesn't work. Like you gotta work with other people and other genres of music. And I have, like, you know, I've done pop punk shows. I've done any rap or R&B ones, but you know, I did deathcore, you know, death metal, metalcore shows and stuff like that. And that really helped open my brain into like different kinds of stuff. Like we'll use like I'm actually wearing their I thought I was wearing their shirt actually. Dead Crown is a good example.
Oh yeah.
I booked them in. Maybe we can jump back and give some context and maybe how I started booking shows. I started booking.
I was gonna ask about that. Yeah. How'd
so
you get? Like, what made you want to go that direction in the first place?
It is actually a pretty wild story. So in my first band, my bass player did all the booking. He did everything, but then he joined another band and went out on tour. So for like 6 months, I had to run the show pretty much. So I had to, you know, get shows because we had a pretty high tempo when it came to shows. We were doing like 2 every month, which is like definitely don't do that. That's when we learned you don't do that. But I was like, I was like 20, so like I was pretty new to the game. So I did that for a year, and then I was friends with Austin Dickey on Snapchat. Because I followed him because I watched the Dickie Dine show and I watched Jared Dine's content, and he posted on Snapchat. I remember it was like super late at night. He was like, "Hey, we just had a show drop a week out. Can anyone get us something in NorCal?" And I was like, I could do this. So I hit up the call and he was like, "I need this date for a show." So I booked. This was my first show I ever booked. It was For the Likes of You, Austin Dickey's band. Avoid the Void, which they're now called Avoid.
Love Avoid.
And it was actually, well, formerly The Last Titan. It was their first show too.
Oh no shit.
So I've known Ryan Brown since the beginning. Pretty much.
Okay. Yeah. So just like playing in bands, you kind of got thrown into it unexpectedly.
Pretty much.
You just ended up with the experience, and then you had the confidence to take that opportunity.
Yeah, it's like I did that one-off show, and I got it together in 9. I think it was like 9 or 7 days, and I packed the fucking room out, sold it out.
Good man.
Paid everyone hella good.
That.
I think it was just like a door deal. It was, you know, they were both pretty small bands at the time. I think Benny was like 17 years old at the time.
Oh shit.
He was young. I don't know if he was 17, but I know he was young. But I didn't do anything booking wise for like maybe another year, and then my first band broke up, and I was like, fuck, what am I gonna do now? And I was like, you know, fuck it. I booked that one show, I can book more. So I just started doing it more and more.
Oh, snaps.
And I worked with, you know, a bunch of really great bands for the couple years I did it. You know, I did more shows with The Void. I had them out a bunch, even through the name change transition.
Right.
For the Likes of You. I've worked with Rest Repose, which is now dragged under the Home Team. I actually booked the Home Team once, which was the worst show I've ever booked.
Wow.
It's just it was an unfamiliar genre for me, and I was already so overloaded with, like, you know, my work, and then I was also while I was actively booking bands, I was also in Exile from Grace with Spencer from Salt Wound, and we were writing like a shit ton of music. I think we ended up writing like a double album's worth of material.
Wow.
In like the year and a half I was in that band, while I was booking shows left and right. But the Home Team show was fun. I remember that night specifically because, you know, it was an okay show. It wasn't like completely empty in there. There was like a decent amount of people. It just didn't do the greatest. But the cops walked in for some reason, and I was like, I don't know what to do here. Like, do I let him in? the friend of mine I had working the door tried to charge them to walk in. I was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, they're obviously here to just make sure we're in compliance or whatever. But it was super funny.
Jesus.
I give another crazy story. So one of the craziest shows I ever put it was in the cafe. So you guys played the cafe before.
I think
it's
so.
a pretty small room.
Yeah.
And this is before they had that bigger stage on there.
Right.
So there was a little bit more room. So that show was Rest Repose, the Home Team, For the Likes of You, and Avoid. It was a 4-band package, and I had 2 bands on there. I can't remember who it was. I'm sorry if you guys are watching this, but packed show, sold the fuck out. I put like 200 kids in that room.
Damn.
So after we were settling up in the colony, and I was talking with their tour manager, and we're just getting things settled up, and I think I had like almost $2,000 in cash on the table. It was mostly cash sales. We had like a couple walk-ups and onlines or whatever, and it was end of show, so like everyone's packing gear up or whatever, and this guy walks in because obviously it's Stockton Boulevard. And mind you, $2,000 in cash, a bunch of different thousands and thousands of dollars of gear everywhere. This guy walks in off the street. He's all, "Hey man, and you guys got a cigarette?" And then he looks at me, looks at the TM, and then looks at the money on the table. And I can tell, just because like I've been around the block, when somebody's thinking about doing something they probably shouldn't. He had
Grab
me
a
look in his
stack
eye.
and run out.
Yeah.
And I remember just like putting my hands on like the folding chair, like ready to fucking WWE his ass. And I said, "No, dude, sorry, I don't have one." He said, "All right, have a good night," and walked out. And we all just went like, like I remember too. So at the time, Fluff, who does Rift Beards and Gear, he was in Rest Repose.
Oh,
I
shit.
remember he was standing in the back of the room with a furniture dolly, like this, holding it like a weapon, and we were all laughing. It was like, we're all ready to jump this guy. And the crazy thing is the drummer for the likes of you at the time, I didn't know this at the time. I think his name was Devin. He had his hand in his backpack the entire time, and we were all laughing, joking about what we were going to hit him with, and he was like, "Oh, I was just going to shoot him." He pulls a fucking handgun out, and I'm like, "What the why do you have that?" And he was like, I'm a cop. And I was like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." And I'm like,
He's prepared.
"Fuck, dude, I guess you're prepared, but I'm really glad you didn't do that."
Yeah, we didn't want to take it there.
Jesus, like, dude,
God, wow.
shooting someone was not in the fucking advance contract. But crazy
Brown
story.
M&Ms and bullets.
But yeah, I did that for a couple years, and I was even doing it when I joined Beauty in 2018. Yeah, it was like September of 2018. And like towards the end of that, I had kind of transitioned from like doing shows at the Colony a lot to working with Chad.
Yeah.
Because Chad was still doing Bit Crush at the time. He was also booking a lot out of Boardwalk. So he would get these like killer tour packages come through, and he would have me on to help promote and help find local bands and stuff like that. And we did a couple shows. I think we did 2 or 3. The 2 that stick out to me the most was, and they were literally within a day. There was one after the other. Like Friday, one show, Saturday, other show. Was the first one was Alisana and Capture the Crown.
Ooh,
So I helped co-pro that one. These were all Chad's contacts. I'm not going to pretend like I booked the bands. Chad booked the bands. I just helped promote.
Yeah,
But,
Chad's like hella tapped in.
yeah, stupid tapped in. But wait, that show, and then the next show was Hawthorne Heights and Emory. Which and there's both at the Boardwalk. So like Boardwalk's like a 300 cap a room, you know, at best. Maybe 320 if you're willing to push it a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly how it happened. But we ended up overselling by at least like 150.
Wow.
I think we had close to 500 people in the Boardwalk. I remember that day when I got there.
How does that work?
Oh, it's hot in there.
I'll tell you how.
goodness.
All of the tables and chairs, not some of them, all of them got put in the back. You know where you load out gear on the side stage? They all got put back there. And
That's crazy.
I'd never seen the Boardwalk that packed before. Because I missed like I came too late for the glory days of Boardwalk.
Oh,
you
man,
know?
that's where I got my start.
That was the closest I would have gotten to seeing how packed that room can get.
Oh yeah.
Like when I tell that story to friends, they're like, "Oh yeah, I've been to plenty of local shows where that happened," and I'm like, "Yeah, I missed that. I was still playing in my buddy's garage, playing Metallica covers."
Dude, honestly, it was a special time. Like I saw my first show was Lionheart, The Warriors,
Love Lionheart.
Walls of Jericho, and Born of Osiris, and As Blood Runs Black.
Dude, you know Ricky and I are cousins.
I know.
Yeah, like his mom is his mom's a Lovato. It's fucking wild.
It's crazy. Like I was like, that was my first show, and I was just like, this is
Like your first
Cool.
show ever?
ever.
That's one hell of a first show ever.
Ever.
What was your first show?
I walked in and was like, what the hell?
It could be anything. It could be fucking Hootie and the Blowfish.
Have you ever been to Morgan Hill? Do you even know what Morgan Hill is?
It's a town in California. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's south of San Jose by about a half hour.
Okay.
It's a place called GVA Cafe, and it's the only place in downtown Morgan Hill where you could possibly have a show. And we played in front of like 12 people. It was us and one other band. Neither band was...
No, like your first show that you attended.
Oh, attended?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's... first one ever? That might have been at the SAP Center, actually. Actually, sorry, HP Pavilion, because that's what I still know it as.
Local lore, dude. It's like us with art.
Yeah, no, because like when your parents find out you're into music, they want to take you to your first show. They're gonna do it up.
Man, you had cool
So
parents. My mom was like, "Get the hell out of here."
You want to do music? Fuck off.
Yeah.
It might have been either Nickelback or Metallica.
Fuck, dude, that's pretty goddamn good.
And then, but very closely after that, because my taste got heavy pretty quickly. After I discovered Slipknot, I got into them through All Hope Is Gone in 2010.
Yep. That's a good one.
I went to see All That Remains, Asking Alexandria, Unearth, and one other band I forgot about. They were playing the Regency
good.
Ballroom.
That's that's a pretty stacked lineup, dude.
At the time too,
That's like
I was still getting into metal. This is when like Oceano legitimately scared me. Like I wasn't all the way into it yet, and I heard District of Misery. I was like, it sent a chill down my spine. It's like, who let music get this heavy? This is crazy.
Oh,
And
I remember when I thought fucking Pray for Plagues was like the heaviest shit in the world.
Dude,
Right.
that's so funny. So like in high school, I was like still listening to like Slayer and shit and Death, you know, and stuff like that. And one of my homegirls, we did school to smoke weed, and we're
Hell
chilling
yeah.
in her
That's
car
one of
those. We all
smoking.
did.
And we were talking about music, and she was like, "You ever listen to fucking Bring Me the Horizon?" I was like, "No, not really." And she puts Pray for Plagues on. And I'm like, "What the fuck, dude?" It's
the
like
first-
game changer.
First Bring Me the Horizon song I ever heard was Medusa.
Oh, on the second album,
Yeah.
I think it is.
I think, yeah, I know it's the second. God damn it. I'm like, I
It's the
feel,
Suicide Season.
I think
the
so.
second
See, like, I don't want to be wrong. And I also,
I can't remember.
I feel like such a chump that I don't know this shit. But
That's all right. We only
It-
got
it
so
was-
much bandwidth for
I
this.
mean,
shit.
to be fair though, these days you find a song, you can find out through Spotify or whatever you use immediately what album it's on.
Yeah.
I found that shit on LimeWire.
Dude.
Well, yeah, I mean,
So
I
it
was
was
a
like a
LimeWire
shitty
kid,
recording too, you know, or like FrostWire is the other one.
Yeah.
yeah.
And for the longest time, I think 4 Words to Choke Upon by Bullet for My Valentine.
Banger.
Banger.
That was also I started listening to Bullet for My Valentine through LimeWire.
That was one of the metalcore bands I listened to while I wasn't quite into metalcore. 'Cause they had riffs.
Right, they're a good
Oh yeah,
transition
same thing with
band.
As I Lay Dying though. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, As I
They
Lay
were-
Dying
Yeah.
early in the days was
Like that
gutted.
band, As I Lay Dying, Trivium too. Like they were so
Trivium.
close to like what I already liked.
Mudvayne. Were you in
No,
Mudvayne?
I wasn't really into Mudvayne. Like a lot of my friends were into stuff like that, like the new metal and shit like that. It didn't really catch me too hard until like way later. And I'm not really a big Mudvayne guy, but like Slipknot is another band I didn't get into until way later.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that was actually a band I listened to more after I saw live because I saw them on tour with it was like Slipknot, Lamb of God, Bullet for My Valentine, and Motionless in White, and like 20. I want to say it was like 2015. I remember because I got my head split open at a show like a week before that, and I got tickets to see them for my birthday, and I was like, just fucking staple me up. I'm going to the show anyways, and I did.
see, when I heard Motionless in White the first time, when I saw
hated him.
I was like, why the fuck is Davey Havoc in a fucking metalcore band?
Yeah,
Like I was just like, he looked like Davey Havoc, and it like completely threw me for a loop. And I was like, is Davey Havoc done with like AFI? Like, what the fuck is happening? Because like, you know, video quality wasn't like it is now. Like, it just wasn't the case. So I saw it, I'm like, and like internet was dial up, so like, yeah, good luck looking it up. Like, you just had to like
Right.
speculate at that point.
you had to know someone who knew.
Yeah, and I'm like,
You didn't have
and I'm like,
links in any description.
no, you didn't have any of that.
There were
stuff.
no link trees whatsoever.
There was nothing. And so I saw it and I was like, is that Davey Havoc from freaking AFI? And then all of a sudden I was like, okay, cool, whatever.
I guess you just have to keep asking yourself that question for a while.
Yeah, and then eventually I'm
Until-
like, oh, it's not. It's somebody
And then,
completely else.
link trees. Cool. I have all the information at the, right
I think
at
it
my
was when I
fingertips.
saw them the first time that I was like, oh. And I think it was like
Mm-hmm.
Warped Tour in San Antonio.
Yeah, I did not like Motionless the first time I saw them. It actually took like an ex-girlfriend of mine who like really liked them for me to really like get it. you know?
Yeah.
Just because like they were on so much. It's like the same thing with Amity too. Like I wasn't like a super big Amity fan, but she listened to them so much, and I was like, you know what? Fuck, this band is cool. We even got the opportunity to open up for them. It was like them and After the Burial in like 2019, and I was already a fan of Motionless at that point, and it was so sick.
That's a cool like. They're not quite the same speed as metal bands, but I feel like the two of them together probably do decently well.
Oh yeah, like that's another thing too. Is like a big fan of mixed genre bills.
Yeah.
Like when I was booking heavily, I really tried to balance things out, because like we all love heavy music, but you know, it can be tiring for some people, like having to go to a show and there be like 20 hardcore bands back to back. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking it. I just
no, it can drain you of the desire to listen to that particular type of music.
For me though, I like to treat lineups almost like writing a set list. You know, like you have to craft your set list in a way that there is a flow to them, a push and a pull, like with anything, you know. And if you know, I've had some pretty good lineups that did really well, you know.
And I mean, you know what? To add to that, normally when I decide to go to a show, and it's not this way every time, because when I see 3-4 bands on the same show that I'm excited to see all of them, that's amazing. But a lot of the time, it's one of the bands on the bill that I'm like, I'm going for them.
Yeah.
And like Pinup Productions back in the day would always ask, you know, they'd keep a tally. Who are you here for? You know, and they, like when you pay for your ticket or just show it already, you showed up for one band and the rest you just happen to be in the room for. You might find a new band that you like. A lot of the time it is one band that will motivate me to buy the ticket because I want to see them. But again, if you end up going to a show where it's a 4-band bill and you're excited to see all of them, like that's incredible. But the thing is, you're not going to fill an entire room with people who are excited about the whole show.
Yeah, right. Those shows were like actually, there's one happening on Friday. It's like Orthodox, From Joy, Omerta, and there's one more band I'm forgetting.
That's right. Dude, I remember
Crowd Control. Crowd Control. They're local, aren't they?
Yeah, they're local. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like a baby band.
From Joy is. I mean, I follow From Joy's drummer.
Yeah.
That dude's a beast.
Insane, dude.
He's like, a monster.
I wish I don't know how to describe their music, but I just started listening to them a lot recently. Like, I listened to the record they put out, I think it was in either last year or late 2023. They're like self-titled one. And then they have an EP that they just put out that's kind of like, it ties into their record too. And it's just like super cool music. The vibe it gives me is like early 2000s, like, there's like a specific name for it. I keep wanting to say Aquaresia, but that's a fucking Sleep Token song. Frutiger Arrow. You can look it up, and it's a specific aesthetic that was around in like the early 2000s. And it sounds weird, but if you're watching at home, you can Google Frutiger Arrow, and that's what the music sounds like in my brain. It's like nostalgic but new at the same time.
Interesting. I think like Boundaries did that too. Like Boundaries has like this old sound to them, but like a new way of doing it. And I was just like,
I remember the first time I heard Boundaries, and I was like, this band's probably from like 2005, dude. And it was around the time Your Receding Warmth came out. Yep. And so I looked up the notes, and I was like, oh, this came out like last year. What the fuck? This is obviously like a couple years back.
It was just the production was so fucking good on it.
Yeah,
it was like, just like, what the hell is going on?
Super fucking gritty, in your face. Like, sick.
It's almost like the mix is a little bit purposefully muddied, almost in a sense.
Yeah,
but it's not.
That's that's a big trend that's coming back now. Is like a lot of bands are going for that more raw production.
Yeah,
like Korn recording their new album on cassette tape.
Oh no shit.
Or like it's raw, you know, but it's
cool.
Like
it's raw. Sorry.
Right? No, I mean it's got to come out. I feel like it's probably a response to overproduction. Yeah. Like it's an ebb and a flow with, what people want in terms of production. I love well-produced music, but I definitely
it's a bummer.
Yeah.
When there's too much going on, so no one element really stands out the way that it should.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful with that, and I think the stripped down type of type of vibe that recording that way, like
Right.
Korn is doing right now, will bring to the table. It's like you're really just bringing it back to the talent of the musicians, and it's not being covered up or anything like that, because, you know, I don't think there's a lot of bands that are like this anymore these days. Of course, there's an exception everywhere, but when a band produces songs in the studio that they just can't do live, I feel like bands are better about making sure that their show lives up to what's on the record.
Yeah, you can, like, even with, well, I'll use Beauty as an example too. Like all this stuff we have on record obviously does get played live, but we're not afraid to change stuff, you know, or tweak things here and there because it may not work live, or there's something cooler we can add to it. Like the song Afterlife. That's a good example. So there's a very basic lead that I play during the verses and during the verses, and on the second part of it, I add just like a basic pentatonic lead that's not on the record at all. Just something that I do live. Use my little wah pedal because the Kirk Hammett in me wants to. He's screaming, he's crying to get out. He's screaming, dude. Yeah, it's screaming.
That's it.
But it's like I like to do little stuff like that just to make it feel more alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like on the topic, you know, a Korn recording on tape, King 810 is putting out like 3 records this year, and they're tracking the whole fucking thing live. They already released one. I listened to like 2 songs off of it while I was at work, and it's like ballsy. It's pretty fucking ballsy to do that because you like. I don't know if you guys have ever tracked live, like not live as like live drums or live guitar, live vocals. We've all done that. I'm talking about like your band is in a room and you play the song and you record. I've had the opportunity to do that before with my first band. It's fucking hard. It's like it's really hard, and like we're fortunate enough to live in the digital age, so we can just record it on Pro Tools, throw a click in everyone's ear and stuff like that. Fucking that shit didn't exist 50, 60 years ago. So you
don't even need to track drums anymore.
Yeah.
You can program
especially
that shit.
You're recording on tape too. Like that shit is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, like even like, I think it was funny because Nick was like talking to me about it. He's like, dude, like there was never backtracks for fucking a Skylar Drive.
Nah.
He's like, we didn't have any of this.
Yeah.
None of this existed. he's like, this is all new. He's like, so when we did our reunion show, I had to build it, and I was like,
man.
And he was like, and I had to build it from the ground floor, like all those sounds I had to find, all the notes that were being played. That
I can't imagine.
Like, he had to redo the entire album basically to play it live.
That's
crazy.
So wild.
Because a lot of the capabilities that they had back then were not the case. No.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was just like, bro.
It's changed a lot over the years. The tools that we have at our disposal as artists now,
Insane.
like I understand why there was a moment in music where everybody started just doing way too much.
Yeah.
And then it got drawn back to, we need to remember that it's about the musicians, and everything else is like, it's not something that you spray all over a song. It's seasoning.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you sprinkle it on top of what's already there. You can't have, like, if you have a chicken breast that you're cooking, the seasoning is a very important aspect of that to make it a good dinner.
Yeah.
But you still can't do anything with the seasoning if you don't have the chicken.
Yeah.
The artists need to be the majority of what you're hearing.
Right.
Yeah.
And maybe
it's
it's easier. Sorry to cut you off.
Oh no,
but
you're good.
Maybe it's easier to notice as a musician,
Right.
where you can tell when there's talented musicians performing on the track.
Yeah.
Like my favorite example right now is I'm listening to Straight from the Path's new album.
Yeah.
Craig Reynolds is one of my favorite drummers of all time.
So good.
Insane.
And I can hear him when in his tracks.
You can hear his like personality coming through.
Yeah, his personal playing style, and I feel like you just have to be a drummer to detect those kinds of things, or a musician in general.
Yeah.
To, like, if you look at instruments or types of music as a language, each musician's playing style is just like an accent.
Yeah.
When you speak to somebody and they have an accent, you can hear it. You know, it's different. It's not, it's the same, but it's different kind of thing.
Yeah.
It goes back to the point, like, don't focus as a musician, don't focus so much on, like, what everyone else is doing. Focus on yourself. Like,
no, like, take the notes for sure, being like, oh, that's fucking tight. I like how they did that. Like, maybe it's different because I'm a vocalist. You're a guitarist,
yeah.
A drummer, like, you're also a drummer as well.
Well, let me just get that out of the way. Not a drummer. Haven't touched a drum kit in, like, fucking 20 years.
Yeah.
I just started on a drum kit.
You've played drums.
I've played drums.
Yeah.
But, like...
You probably play better than I can. Let's put it that way.
we'll see.
But, like, yeah, like, there's, like, a uniqueness to it. Like, how many vocalists all sound the same? Like, fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Or reminiscent of each other.
Well,
yeah.
there's just not a lot out. There wasn't a lot out there, and there still really isn't a lot out there. Like, we didn't have fucking tabs.
No.
We didn't have a fucking plan to any of this. Like, when screaming first became a thing, all of us were doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Like,
ruining your voices.
Like, nobody was doing this for longevity. Like, that's why, like, some of these vocalists can't even fucking scream anymore. Like, because they tore their vocals up. And I'm like,
yeah.
There was no rule book to this when I first got into this. So I'm like, I'm envious of hearing it like that. I'm like, oh yeah, you guys can hear that stuff. I'm like, well, I kind of know, but everyone was doing it either wrong or fucked up, or they figured out how to do it right, but then they also didn't, like, they gatekeep it. There's not a lot of that class out there. Like, it just isn't.
Yeah.
For screaming. It's just not a thing.
Totally gonna jump topics here, but I've been wanting to ask you, how was working CIP for you?
Oh, dude. Well, also, thank you.
Yeah, dude. Dude, no, you really did save my ass.
So Alex, like, texted me one day. It's like, yeah, dude, so, like, I'm probably going to put you in for this. Or, like, you were talking to me in person, actually.
Yeah, we were at, I think it was at Thornhill. We were at that one show.
That's right. You were like, hey, how you been? I was like, oh, I'm good, dude. Just kind of like, it was when I was going through my, like, kumbaya phase where I was just trying to, like, not deal with people and things at the moment. And I was just kind of, like, overwhelmed. And I remember I was telling you about that, and I was like, bro.
I'm like, hey, you want to work concert?
Full-blown, like, panic attack. And Ryan's like, hey, well, yeah, Ryan Brown was talking to me at that show. And he's like, oh, how you doing, dude? I'm like, I'm just kind of, like, mildly having a panic attack, and I'm just kind of just trying to fuck off and be in my own circle. And then Alex walks over to me. He's like, hey, dude, how you been? I'm like, oh, And he's like, hey, man, do you want to, like, work CIP? He's like, I kind of need somebody. And he's like, well, we might. And he's like, I can pitch it in and see if you give it to you.
I hadn't quite gotten the nod from the producers yet, but I knew we were going to talk about it soon. So I was, like, kind of feeling it out. Like, I'd already talked to Jake and Chad about it, and they told me to talk to you. So, and it's just, like, I was really bummed I couldn't do those shows because, like, I really wanted to work Fanagram because I knew it was going to be a busy night. And Dexter and the Moonrocks was, I like that band, too.
Dexter was tight. They were really nice guys, those guys. That day went really well.
Yeah.
Fanagram, everything was so fucked that day.
Just for context, in case people don't know what we're talking about, this past summer, I got offered to be the stage manager for Concerts in the Park. It's a local concert series here in Sacramento. It's every Friday, usually through May to June, and it's free. Yeah. And we have all different kinds of genres of music every night. But 2 of the nights I couldn't work because Beauty was going out on, like, a weekend run. And then we also had a headlining show at Goldfield Midtown.
Oh, yeah.
So Greg, being the fucking homie he is, stepped in for me and killed it.
Dude, thanks, man. I mean, I had fun. And honestly, it was cool. Like, I was laughing with Justin because I was like, holy fuck, we know all the same people. We never ran into each other.
Yeah.
And so, like, it was just hella funny because I'm like, oh, yeah, like, I know. He's like, are you with Shandan? I'm like, yeah, I'm signed under Shandan's, like, record. And he's like, huh. And we just, like, kept, like, chalking it up. And he's like, yeah, we really do know all, like, the same people. And I was like, yeah dude. I was like, it's crazy. And he was wearing a Descendants shirt the first day. And I was just, like, tied, little Descendants shirt. I was like, I'm here for that. I was like, Milo is the shit.
Yeah, dude. It was a
vibe. I had fun.
We did our last, like, team meeting last Monday, or this past Monday. And I was just kind of, like, going over my notes and stuff like that, and I was like, fuck, dude, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, but, like, it pushed me into an area that I'd never quite been before, because, like, booking shows is one thing, especially me being the only guy doing it. Like, I have to deal with the contracts, the tour managers, and I also have to stage manage at the time. That's why, like, when Chad hit me up about the offer to do it, and I was like, all I have to do is run the stage. And he was like, yeah, that's it. And I was like, sign me up.
Yeah, dude, because when you told me that too, I was just like, wait, I don't have to handle any of that bullshit? And you're like, yeah.
Yeah. Now,
Sign me
granted,
up.
I had only ever stage managed like local bands or like metalcore bands.
Right.
Like I'm sure you saw for yourself, and working for Old Eye too, is like some of these bands be bringing the craziest shit. Like,
Dude,
I'll show you.
the most.
Yeah, like,
Oh my god.
and there's all different kinds of egos that you got to work around and not placate, but like just play to people and make sure your run of show goes as smooth as possible, because like, as you know, like, it's a timed thing. You got to be on your time, especially when you're dealing with like radio and announcing and doing giveaways and all stuff like that. Like, it has to be seamless.
Oh yeah.
And like, I can only think of maybe a couple instances in the 8 or 9 shows I did that there were some hiccups, but that was more logistical stuff out of my hand than anything.
Right.
But like it,
minor technical stuff.
I was talking to one of my coworkers about it, and I was like, yeah, it was really cool to not have to do all the legal backside of stuff, like contracts, but it like really did push my brain into a different level. I think it makes me want to do more of that.
Right. I think I shifted after I did it, like, because I started realizing. Actually, I left Old Ironsides literally after that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. And it wasn't because I wasn't like happy there. I think it was just because I'm doing the door. I get in there and then usually I help out the bar, and then Jake will get everything kind of prepped up and ready to go, and then usually he has to go to Midtown.
Yeah.
So then it kind of all the questions kind of fall on me and stuff like that, and I just was like, dude, that might, like you said, like, you're doing so many little things, and then after a while you're just kind of like, no.
Yeah.
Like, because it does take away a lot, and I was just like, I actually enjoyed that more and was less stressed out.
It's just because you have a whole team behind you,
and the communication was phenomenal. So,
I know when I was booking shows like DIY, I didn't have that. At sometimes I would have my girlfriend at the time run the door, or one of my friends, but like, that was it. Yeah. Being able to just go up there and have one job and just focus on that.
Yeah. It was definitely way nicer.
Way nicer.
I agree with that. 10 times over.
I hope
I would do that more.
I can't wait for next season already, and we just ended.
Yeah.
But
sounds like a well-oiled machine.
It was impressive.
Great. It was great.
It was impressive how smooth they already had things dialed in, and they were very, very welcoming to me too.
Same. Yeah.
They made my first couple shows really nice, and they weren't shy, because some people can be, if you ask too many questions. I just I made sure. First day, I was like, if I have questions, I gotta ask. I gotta know, what did they want from me, and how do they want their run of show to go. Once you do it, after the first couple shows, I got my tempo down. I got my routine. I'm a very, very routine-oriented person, in everything that I do. Not like OCD or anything, but when it comes to stuff like this, industry stuff, you have to be detail and routine-oriented.
Yeah, you gotta know. I'm like, do I have a day sheet? Do I have this? Do I have that? And I'm asking all these questions, and by the time I got there, I was like, cool, yeah, I got this, I got that, I got the email from Alex, I got this, and okay, what we got changes here, and I was like, I was able to plug it in so much faster than I thought I was going to, and then I was just like, oh, and all I gotta do is make sure they're getting off and on stage, and they're like, yeah, I'm like, okay.
and then the gear truck shows up late.
Then the gear truck shows up late. I'm like,
that kind of shit though,
it's always something.
That is really what puts you to the test. Is you can have a million perfect run of shows as much, but when you have that one where everything is just on fire, that's the true test right there. It's can I get
the first band, they're one of the cables for I think the keyboard was not working.
Yeah.
And then it pushed it, and then they lost a couple minutes, and then
yeah.
I can't remember what exactly happened, but I remember I looked at the drummer and I was like, 2 minutes left, and they were just and then they sent another song, and I was like, I just kind of was like, and then looked at I remember I looked at Justin, he's like,
yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get castrated the first day on my job.
No, I didn't have any super big cataclysms. I had band members forget gear and stuff like that. One of these kids, not kids, he was my age. I don't know why I said that. He left his amp somewhere, and we got it sorted. He had he called 3 people, and they were all bringing amplifiers, and it was just a race to see who got there first. But they had like a whole, they were the opener, so they had like an hour line / sound check, so they were fine. That was like really the only serious thing I could think of, other than like not getting the DJs to start on time and stuff like that. But other than that, like seamless, pretty seamless.
Well, if you guys can't tell from what they've been saying, productions, putting on a show for everybody who likes to go to shows, understand how much is going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
My goodness. It's just there's a lot of things that go unsaid, about the way the industry works. There's a lot of, like we said, either on this episode or the last one, there's a lot of unsung heroes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And people who do all the jobs that are very, very necessary but don't get as much recognition.
Some of these bands have actual like small armies behind them that run that show doesn't happen if they're not there. Like that's why like not a big Taylor Swift fan, but I thought it was such a cool move for her to give each member of her team like $300,000 after she did that last tour. Because, like, dude, she has something insane. Like, okay, I know for Metallica, because I'm a nerd, they have, like, 40 semis worth of gear. Taylor Swift has double that, and that's her A rig. So she has A, B, C rig, all with, like, 80-something semis per rig. And she paid out all those girls
talk about
fat.
semis and all that shit, and I was like, bro, there is so much more that goes into this than what you guys think it is. I'm like, you see
We got a van and a trailer. That's it, brother.
Yep. Panagram, two trucks. 2 full trucks. So, like, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, there's a lot that goes into this, guys. And, we appreciate you listening because this is our reality. We put in a lot of work to bring these shows to you, and that's not, not asking for a pity party. This is just a reality. We do a lot of work because we love this shit so much.
Yeah.
And, we love that you guys like to come share these moments with us at these shows. And we're more than happy to continue to deal with all of this bullshit.
Yep.
To make this happen, because the live music industry really is a special thing. And I think, we're just gonna keep talking about it because there's no way we could ever get all the way through this topic. There's always going to be another conversation to have. So, for now, I think we should just make sure everybody gets tapped in, so they can keep getting connected with the conversations we're having. Everybody needs to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell on YouTube. Last minute, is there anything you want to say about Is Betrayal, what you guys are doing next before we wrap up here?
We got next show is Titan Fest. I'm sure it's
Beautiful.
already been talked about a bunch on this podcast, which is awesome. Really, really cannot say enough good things about Ryan Brown and Titan Fest and how much work that guy puts in. He's one of the most tenacious people I've ever met when it comes to doing this and for doing it as long as he has. And, I hope all of you who listen, wherever, show his band some love, show Titan Fest some love on social media.
Yes.
And all the bands that are playing it. Like, we all put so much work into doing what we do so we can do this for you guys. Like, I always tell, people in my life that aren't in this world that we're in, it is 90% blood, sweat, and tears for that 10%. That 10% is going up on stage, having all your problems go away for, 30 minutes to an hour, however long you play. That, that time you're on stage makes that 90% worth it.
Absolutely
And
worth it.
It's, I always say, like, playing music live is better than any drug I've ever taken, which is not a lot. I've done my fair share of stuff, but nothing crazy. But
it beats them all. Because it's real. So we'll put up with that 90% because the 10% is worth it. Couldn't agree with you more.
Yep.
So we're gonna keep talking about it because this is the most important aspect of our lives for a lot of us, I think. 100%. And we know it is for a lot of you too. So we'll catch you next time. But thank you for tuning in. Get connected with us. We're on Spotify and YouTube and all over Instagram, TikTok. And we will see you again very soon.